Chaos is everywhere, but steady leaders rise above it with clarity. I'm your host, Schuyler Williamson, and this is the Steady Leader Podcast. Whether you're leading a team, a company, your family, or just yourself, this show gives you the tools to stay calm, think clearly, and lead with confidence. Let's get steady.
Hey, I've got 5 leadership mindset shifts that if you implement these, people will naturally desire to follow you, even if you're brand new to leadership. Now, I didn't get there overnight. I learned this over the last 20 years of being a leader, starting with being the captain of the baseball team at West Point, leading soldiers in combat in Iraq and Afghanistan, leading my 4 businesses today, leading my family, my wife of 20 years and my 2 kids, and being a foster parent. I've learned over time that there's 5 things that matter. So before I jump into the 5 mindset shifts, I just want to give you one core mindset shift that maybe is easy to understand, but it really tees up your ability to comprehend what you're learning as a leader over time. And that's first, you're not going to be perfect. And I know if I sat you down and I talked to you, you would say like, well, Schuyler, I know I'm not going to be perfect, but I can tell you as a leader, you crave nothing more than to be perfect for your people, to be perfect for your family, to be perfect for your team. Everyone that looks up to you and their families are responsible for your progress as a leader, you're going to want to be perfect, but you're not going to be perfect. You should pursue progress. And that is the game. Can I be a little bit better today than I was yesterday? And then can I celebrate the fact that I know that I'm going to learn lessons over time that are going to make me more equipped as a leader to go do bigger and better things and to help more people? See, that is it. Every time you move through a struggle and you get on the other side of that and you know more, you've learned more, you know that there's more disruption out there and you're just aware, you can take all of that information and you can go back and you can teach people that. And you can prevent them from having to struggle like you did to get through that moment. And that's what leaders do. Leaders continue to progress over time. They learn from their mistakes, and then they bring people with them through that so that they don't have to experience the same pain. And so you're not going to be perfect. And so your mindset should be one of excellence for sure. Be excellent every day, but pursue progress, not perfection. And so now that we have that core mindset shift in place, I want to tell you a story that was very pivotal for me as a brand new lieutenant in Baghdad. And we were in combat. And so there's a little bit of a war story here. In my very first mission briefing, the first time that we were going to go out as a unit into the wilderness, as they call it, where the enemy would be out there and could come into contact with us, I did the most due diligence you could ever do for a mission plan. And I wrote out this full mission plan, and I took it very seriously because people's lives were at stake. And I presented the plan to my unit, and it was a very long plan. I went through all the components that they teach you in officer basic course on how to deliver a plan. Listen, I don't think anybody on my team would have said, hey, LT, that was a bad plan. I think they might have told you that it was long, and maybe it could have been shrunk down, but no one would have said like, hey, you didn't do a good job there, sir. And I think that there was risk in that. But what I could see in my soldiers was that their eyes were kind of glassing over, that I was losing their interest. I was losing their attention, not because they weren't taking it seriously, but just because I was telling them things that did matter, but maybe didn't matter to them. We train our soldiers a very specific way to pay attention to certain parts of the plan that apply to their job. And those are the things that they really locked in on and they really wrote down. They didn't need to know every single detail that I was thinking about or that I was considering along the way. All of those details kind of muddied the water for them and made their job a little bit harder to understand because they were trying to pull out the specific parts of their job out of this big overarching plan. And so in trying to do my best as a leader, I actually complicated things for the team. And I think we do that a lot as leaders. We seek to do our best, and then we actually complicate it. In that moment, as a leader, in that struggle of seeing my folks kind of like stop paying attention to this thing that I thought was very important, I learned a lesson. And this will be the first mindset shift here, is that it's actually smarter to keep things simple. The simpler you can keep it, the more people can execute without you, and the more capable they're going to be of actually executing the plan exactly how you designed it. And so in that moment, I took my probably 20-page mission plan, and the next time that I did a mission plan, I shrunk it all the way down to 1 page. Right away, we went into that second mission planning, we went to the map. I gave everybody 1 page that had exactly what they needed for their plan, and I said, "Okay, let's just talk through this." It wasn't a formal plan that I dictated to them with all of the details. I just kept it simple. I kept it to simple graphics with simple actions that were all fit on 1 page that applied to them, and then we talked through, hypothetically, what would we do if different assumptions changed in the battlefield? And that ended up being such a beautiful change in my leadership style, not only for me, because I was engaging with my team and they were actually paying attention to the whole thing and I was getting affirmation and it was really the better way of deploying information and getting the team engaged, but it was better for the team. They were actually more prepared because I made it simpler for them. And and so just that first mindset shift there. This is shift number 1. Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things as a leader. It doesn't show you that you're doing a better job if you make it more complex. All right? Look at it, simplify it, then deliver it. Your team will be grateful for it. All right. The second thing is you don't lead, you serve. All right? Mindset shift number 2 is you don't lead, you serve. Every single day when you wake up, you ask yourself, what does my team need me to be so that they can be their best? Not, what am I going to tell my team to do today? And as a leader, you have the responsibility to lead that team, to take action, to hold people accountable, to produce results. And that's where the urge to go tell people what to do and lead by action actually could present itself to you. Like, I understand where naturally you feel that desire to go take that action. But in reality, the best leaders have found a way to go serve. Okay. And when you have that servant mindset, when you ask yourself, who does your team need you to be so that they can be their best, you're going to be much more effective in leading the team. And so you need to make that mindset shift of not telling. You need to actually serve, have that servant mindset there. And it takes a lot of experience leading people and a lot of courage and confidence to make that shift. But I'm telling you right now, skip all of the years that you need to build all of that up. Just go do that. Go start serving your team and watch how committed they are to you. Mindset shift number 3. You don't have to know everything to be a great leader. You just have to be one step ahead of your team. I love I love going to church and listening to the pastor preach because I'm like, man, this dude knows it all. He's so spot on about what he's preaching. He's so connected to the word. He's so wise and spiritual. The reality of it is that leader of us spiritually put in the time to be one step ahead of us. He studied all of that and thought about it and put in the time to be prepared so that he could pastor us in that moment and pull us to the next step. And that's all you got to do as a leader. You don't have to be a mile ahead of your company. You just have to be one step ahead of your company and know how you're going to pull them that next step down the road. And yes, there is a component of knowing, okay, well, after you pull your company here, what is the next step that you're going to take? But you only have to be one step ahead of them for them to look up to you and say, dang, Schuyler, he's got it all thought out. You can't catch this guy off guard. He's not going to react. He's going to respond to things. And it makes me look like I'm a mile ahead, but I'm not a mile ahead, right? I'm not superhuman. I'm just like all of you guys, but I am putting in the thought to be one step ahead and knowing that I'm going to pull my team to that level there. And that's the mindset shift. You don't have to put the pressure on yourself to know everything about all things to be a mile ahead. You just have to be a step ahead. And if you can say, I'm going to be a step ahead of my team every single day and every single day pull them to that next step, you will make progress. Your team will look up to you and they will follow you because of that. Mindset shift number 4 is you're never done learning as a leader. Okay. Just because you inherit the responsibility of leading a team doesn't mean you've made it. You actually have just begun. Every team has a lid, and that lid is the leader. And so you have the responsibility as a leader to improve yourself every single day. And you have to be hungry for it. You have to know that if you don't get better every day, the team doesn't get better. And I think there was a time where, as a leader, I'm like, hey, finally, like I'm the guy. I'm the one that's calling all the shots. I'm the one that's the strongest here, that has the most authority and power and all of that. And I had to be humbled. I had to fail as a leader to learn the lesson that, hey, you know what? If you don't make progress every day as a leader, you will first cap your team's production, but your team will actually stop looking up to you because they know who they got, and what they got is what they got, and they don't expect anything more of you. When people stop expecting more of you, that's the beginning of the end. That's the beginning of the end of your respect from that team. You want your A players to chase you. You want your A players to expect more out of you every single day. When your A players are chasing you and they're expecting more from you and they're growing because of you every single day, your team is just going to naturally produce more and more and more. You will never hit the lid. That is you, the leader, because you've got that mindset of continuous improvement and getting better every day. Mindset shift number 5, you can never talk enough. Literally, every problem that I've ever run into in business, whether it's a leadership issue, a people issue, a client issue, a relationship, everything comes down to poor communication. And I think that there's quality in the quantity, meaning that if you just talk all of the time, if you just talk all the time about vision, if you talk all the time about priority, if you talk all the time about values, and even if you're saying the same thing over and over and over again, in that quantity, people are going to find quality. And just out of sheer impressions of your words coming out of your mouth and landing on them, they're going to get it. They may not hear it the first time. They may not hear it the second time. They may hear it the first time and forget it and then pick it back up the fourth time. But in the sheer quantity of communication, of you just reiterating the most important things over and over and over again, there will be quality in it. They will respect that. And the team will move in the most cohesive way that a team could move together. And so much of hurt in people is missed expectations. When you're communicating often and you're communicating volumes of information, in all of that, the expectations are becoming more and more clear. Both sides, right? What you expect of them and what they expect of you as a leader. And they know what you expect. Like there's so much value in that. And when expectations are clear, when we all know where we all stand, there's very little risk and hurt. And there's nothing more damaging to a leadership kind of teammate relationship than hurt, because you got to deal with the hurt before you do anything else. And most businesses, that you just keep driving and you just try to drive right through the hurt, and hurt will turn into anger, and anger will turn into resentment. And once someone's in resentment, there's no respect there. And it takes a lot of work to get from that resentment back to a normal relationship where there's mutual trust and safety and belief. And all of that can be settled with a mindset shift of, I'm going to communicate. I'm going to communicate more than I'm comfortable communicating. And just when I felt like I'm communicating too much, I'm going to communicate a little bit more. That's what leaders do. Leaders bring clarity into their organization. They solve all of that chaos with clarity through effective communication. Written, verbal, all the different ways, physical, all the different ways that you can communicate, you have to do it. Leaders have to be experts at communicating. And so these are the 5 mindset shifts that I would implement today if I was a young leader, that I know that'll make you look like the 20-year veteran if you're to do this. Your people will follow you. They will believe in you. You will get more production. Your company will be steady. And so, hey, look, If you like this content and you want more of it, please subscribe. Go down into the show notes and sign up for our newsletter. We send out leadership lessons every single week to you all that we believe will help you be a better study leader.
If today's episode helped you lead with a little more clarity and calm, share it with someone who needs it. Remember to stay grounded, stay focused, stay steady. Follow me on Instagram and LinkedIn at Schuyler Williamson for more leadership insights and behind-the-scenes content. You can also visit SchuylerWilliamson.com for more ways to connect with me. Until next time, I'm Schuyler Williamson. Steady on.